BTS theories are, as you all know as ARMYs, are so convoluted and so like, I hope I use the right word. Hey YouTube, it's your girl April, aka April Rain Showers, and I'm here with my good friend Sophie.
Hi guys!
I invited her to be on my channel because I think that she talks about BTS theories better than I do. And with the release of Euphoria, all the theories came rushing back, of course. So we had a lot of discussions and we were just talking and we decided just to do a whole video on it. And of course, we want you guys to drop your theories in the comments or link to your favorite theories, of course. So let's get started. So what was the idea? It was butterfly effect. If you've never seen the movie, The Butterfly Effect, it's all about if you change one thing, you change everything. And with the release of Euphoria, it seemed like a lot of things were changed. There were two separate timelines. Sophie is more attuned to BTS theories than I am, of course. Just because I'm not a huge theorist, she thinks about it in a different way than I guess I do. So I'm gonna let her lead this discussion, but also like join. I'm gonna jump in at certain points. So okay, what is the idea of the butterfly effect that you think, you know, relates to Euphoria and to the most beautiful moment in life and the wing storylines, etc.?
Okay, so of course, the whole thing has to do with the butterfly effect.
Yes.
So the idea that Jin is a time traveler plays that to the max.
Of course.
So with going back, he goes back trying to change things, trying to make sure everyone has the happiest future they can possibly have. But he keeps having to go back over and over again because things just keep going wrong. Which, if you think about the Wing short films, I think of it as each one kind of correlates with the Omelas theory as well. They all had their period in a timeline where they were isolated from each individual. Jin kept going back saying, what if, you know, I change this? Each member and each timeline had to be isolated for everyone else to be happy. At the end of the day, that wasn't his end goal. So that's why he kept having to go back and mess with these timelines.
And the thing with going back is, if anyone has seen The Butterfly Effect, which is from 2004, Ashton Kutcher's character used his notebooks, because he wrote in his notebooks as a child, and used his notebooks in order to go back into certain points of time in order to change something. If you notice in a lot of BTS music videos, the Spring Day video, in the Butterfly Prologue, other videos,
even Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears video, and recently Euphoria, he was using a video camera to capture these moments. So our theory is that he used the videos from his recordings to go back into time in specific places in order to change any type of mishaps. But of course, things just went bananas every time that he tried to change something, like the same way that it happened in The Butterfly Effect.
Yep. And then my other theory, everyone knows about the Abraxas theory. That was a big thing, especially with the short films and Tae being, you know, evil, Jin being good. My theory kind of went back to Taehyung was the original person Jin wanted to go back and change his timeline, thinking that he was the trigger for everyone else's unhappiness to some extent. That when he killed his father, that kind of corrupted his soul, and he ended up tempting everyone else into falling into their own pits of darkness, committing suicide, taking pills, you know, with RM blowing himself up. And then if you think about the Japanese version of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, that was a big overall theme, was temptation, especially revolving around Jungkook. Everyone wanted to kind of influence him to fall in line with their own fall from grace, if you will.
Exactly.
And even Jin beating the mess out of Taehyung was, and saying, I'm sorry, you're my friend, but you're the reason why all of this bad stuff is happening. I have to stop you in order to at least save one of my friends from falling into darkness. It all revolved around, you know, Jungkook's like seemingly remaining innocence. He was the last one left, and you said he was the last one who still hadn't died.
Yes.
Around the time of I Need You and everything like that.
Right. That is true. So the thing you're talking about with Taehyung being evil, and so in the Euphoria video, when they're all dressed in white, and then obviously Jin switches places with Taehyung, and jumps off of the little bridge stairs or whatever you want to call them. Everyone is kind of like smiling in the background, but Taehyung is looking up at him as if, how did you describe it? Like,
I was like, everyone was blissfully unaware. They thought, oh, it's just fun. He's gonna jump. It's fine. But something in Taehyung's eyes, he was like, something isn't right, or I can't. He was more aware of something larger happening than everyone else.
Right.
Like, whatever was going on with him and Jin, like, there was some kind of connection there that it hadn't been erased even when a timeline had changed.
Exactly, and it was just more like, that was just like such like a pivotal part. Even though it was like towards the end, it was a very pivotal part. Like, I believe that Jin sacrificed himself in order to fix everything. So in the butterfly effect, we're going back to this. In the director's cut, butterfly effect has 3 endings, but the director's cut is an important one because Ashton Kutcher's character, he realized that every time he went back to change something, something would have missed each time. Some people were happy and some people were miserable. And so he decided in the end to make himself never have been born. So he went to he forced his like mother to have like an abortion, not an abortion, but like just like
while she was going into labor, his heart stopped.
His heartbeat stopped.
The umbilical cord strangled him.
Yeah, his umbilical cord strangled him. So he was never born. So that means that all the negative things that happened in any timeline would not happen because he felt like he was the cause of it. So Jin, in my personal opinion, I think I've seen this on Tumblr and whatnot, Jin like sacrificed himself because like in each timeline, if we're talking about like everyone being like isolated, in each different timeline, someone else was isolated, and so he was just like, well, this is not right. So I think he got to a point where, well, I am the issue, so I'm going to go and kill myself and make sure that all of my friends are happy in the end. But the thing with Taehyung is, what's the thing with Taehyung in that? What do you feel like? You say he's evil.
Yeah, so I feel like, because he's still fully aware of there being other things going on, he probably still has all his memories, or whatever corrupted him in general is still very active in his conscience and everything like that. If Jin truly did sacrifice himself, or at least remove himself from the group in order to save them, I feel like with Taehyung being evil, he's going to take advantage of them being unprotected by the only good force that was trying to make sure they all had their happy endings.
Exactly.
Which falls into place with the glitches that have been happening. I feel like the glitches are a side effect of Jin's time traveling, because if you go back to the movie, he had a lot of issues, mentally and physically from all his traveling.
Right.
I feel like the glitches have to do with the timelines kind of being so fractured that they're bleeding into each other, and they're going to be messing with everyone's heads, their memories, and Taehyung is going to take full advantage of that because they're not going to have their protector there because he's removed himself from the group altogether.
Exactly. I mean, BTS theories are, as you all know as ARMYs, are so convoluted and so like, I don't use the right word, but like are just so complex. And there's just like different types of theories, different points of storylines, and I think everyone's theory is on some level correct. And if we go with the whole idea of there are different universes, as if you saw in the Spring Day video, the Spring Day video, the point where they're in the laundry room or the laundromat, and you said Jin, he looks into the reflection of the
washing machine, and it kind of seems like he went from being inside the laundromat to his background being another world. It looked like that mountain area, the very colorful area, which also goes into play that maybe he's from the outside looking in. He's not really with the group anymore. Right,
and I feel like Jin was like sort of isolated in like a lot of the BTS videos. In his Awake video, which is the last video of the Wings short film series, is he's alone, of course. Everyone is alone in their video, but I think it's very important that he's alone because he is still the outsider. He has these 6 Polaroids, well, the 6 flower petals that turn into the Polaroids, and he kind of like walks away at the end. And I think that's important that he's alone because I feel that he lives in another dimension compared to like the other 6. And I'm trying to figure out where I'm going with this. See how BTS theories just get you.
I mean, it makes sense.
You get what I'm saying, yes.
If you think about it, we just said that he kind of sacrificed himself. He made himself to be the Omelas child, where his unhappiness, his isolation, is everyone else's happiness. Without someone having to suffer, no one else can have that complete happiness. Him walking away from those Polaroids is him walking away from the rest of the group, saying, you know, you have to stay together, but I have to be a separate entity altogether in order for everyone to be happy.
And you saw that in the Spring Day video where he's at the bottom of the stairwell and everyone is just running up and he's kind of doing his little like
a camera almost, like he's recording their
always
moment
recording.
again.
Or in the Butterfly prologue where he's in the woods recording, everyone's like looking like super happy and whatnot, and they're like, oh, Jinyoung, like, you know? So I think that for the most part, Jin is very like pivotal part of whatever is going on in these different universes, and that he's responsible for a lot of the bad that has happened, everyone dying, and he just wants to fix it. And I guess the important thing is with Jin and Jungkook, you believe Jin was the one who hit Jungkook and caused him to die, right?
Yeah. So like I mentioned with the Butterfly Effect movie, how he was having physical repercussions from all his traveling. I feel like every time like Jin seems to be hallucinating or having some kind of mental episode, you see it in his Awake short film when he's in the bed and it seems like everything is blurry and spinning around. You saw it in the Love Yourself highlight reels when he's in the car and it seems like he's having some kind of episode. I feel like he accidentally caused Jungkook's death in I Need You. He was the one behind the car, which kind of explains the ending, like the cutscene in Euphoria, where Jungkook acts like, Hyung, is that all? Like, isn't there something else you're still hiding from us? And then it cuts to the scene where he gets hit by the car. I feel like that is going to play a part, and it has to do with Jin's not there anymore. He's isolated himself from the group. I feel like that secret that he actually was the full cause, the direct cause of one of their deaths, is going to play a part in either the breakdown in the group, which comes along with the darker concept they keep saying to be waiting for a darker concept, a more mature concept. I feel like they're going to have to deal with that situation at some point.
Exactly. And if Jin is the cause of all this, we talk about him being the sacrifice and him switching places with Taehyung in order to jump and kill himself. And if we go back to the Wings short film, we talk about Awake and how Awake is the last song, and if you it almost can be like parallel to Euphoria, because at the end of Euphoria he sacrifices himself, and at the end of the short films is Awake, and that's like his sacrifice song, as you said, we discussed previously, and how he just realizes, you know what, I want my boys to be happy, and I can't make them happy. I'm trying my best, but everything just goes haywire each time. And like the lyrics are very attuned to that too.
Yeah, it's like he's saying that he wants, like, it's referencing the petals again, the 6 flowers. He wants to hold them close to him, and he keeps saying that like he might never fly, he might never be able to be on their level. He's gonna have to watch them soar without him. And that also parallels that Spring Day scene when they're all running up the stairs and he's at a standstill watching them from like a camera or like the outside looking in. He's not really a part of the group. He's kind of looking at them from afar, admiring them from afar, watching them soar, watching them fly, because he made that sacrifice so that they could be happy.
Exactly.
It seems like of Awake, that's his way of saying, you know, it might be time for me to go, and I'm okay with that. That's his realization. It goes along with what he seemed to look like at the end of Euphoria. He made that realization, like, I finally know what I have to do. I've come to terms with it, and I'm okay. I'm at peace with this decision. In Awake, he's at peace with that realization that he might never get to their level. He might never be able to be with them forever.
And that's just really sad. I mean, BTS Theory seriously keep me up at night because I'm like, what is going on? And Big Hit drops like new things all the time. And I'm just like, oh my god, what is going on? But I think Euphoria kind of tied everything together in a way, because if you just like compare it back to the other videos in Wings era and Most Beautiful Moment in Life era, it just seems like, wow, this is what Jin wanted and Jin got it, but at what cost him having to die.
Yeah.
Very sad.
It's very sad. And like, The whole thing with timelines, there are multiple instances where it's very obvious there are different stories going on within the same universe almost. Like with Spring Day, you have Jungkook being on the train, but he's also running towards the train with his friends, and they make that eye contact, like two different timelines kind of crossing but never meeting full together, but they kind of pass each other. They parallel each other to some way. That was, I think, Jungkook's isolation timeline, and the other timeline where he's happy with other people. And then in the scene in the train later on, when he turns around, suddenly they're all on the train with him. That could be another glitch as well, where things are kind of bleeding together from other timelines, where it's like you're getting flashes of memories or moments, but they never exist in the timeline that you existed in. So it's a lot going on, and I feel like that's the only way that I can tie in the glitches that have been happening for a lot of like big hits videos and like their YouTube channel and everything like that, is that's gonna be having to do with their memories, their timelines. Kind of, it's like I use the example of if you record on a VCR or like a video cassette. You're recording over an existing program. Sometimes you get that like static image where you kind of see an image of what you were recording over, or the new recording kind of bleeding together before taking over with the new timeline. I think that's what's happening, especially with the scene in Euphoria with Jimin in the hospital.
Oh, Jimin in the hospital.
And he's holding on to Hobi's hand, like desperate, like, I know you, I need you, you can't leave me. But he's being completely ignored by the other Hobi in a similar hospital gown. But his eyes are closed, he's completely facing another direction, leaning away from him. But then there's like a shift in the scene where it becomes like a negative image, where you see, of course, Jimin holding onto Hobi's hand, but it's another person that Hobi seems to be leaning on, and it looks like it's Jimin as well. That could be the Hobi and Jimin that were in the hospital together during the previous timeline, because they had both tried to commit suicide and they both got hospitalized together. But the one holding onto Hobi's hand is the new timeline, or at least the Omelette timeline, where he's the one isolated in that instance. He was left alone in that new timeline. And he's holding on, like the glitches, he's getting these flashes of memories, like, you're supposed to be here with me, but in my timeline you're not. But I feel like you're a part of me that's missing in this journey of my life right now.
And all I have to say to that is that Big Hit, and I'm pretty sure it was mostly Namjoon and company who really...
You don't give the others enough credit.
But it's canon that Namjoon is the intellectual who reads a lot. I know the others read a lot too, but Namjoon's the intellectual. I feel like he really I feel like he was a part of this, and it's just like, wow, when you can get the whole fandom together to come up with theories, you've really done a really good job. And this is the first time that I've ever participated into fan theories. And in another video, we want to talk about how we think BTS Outcast was written for a future comeback, or for this possible comeback, because that game was, if you read BTS Outcast, all had nothing but glitches in it. It was a game, social media, AU, and Twitter, that trended worldwide for 6 days, and it literally had glitches in the game, and the thread recently disappeared. And of course everyone was voting on things, and people think that we voted on things that are going to happen in the comeback. I might be a little bit delulu by saying that, but
no, I think it too. Like, it's a what if.
It's a what if. So that'd be another video. But I think we talked about everything that we wanted to discuss. It was very important for us to kind of compare this to the Butterfly Effect. And if you haven't seen that movie, I advise you go see it, and you probably can understand what we were talking about a bit more. But I think that's all. Thank you so much, Sophie.
Thanks for having me.
She really helped me with this, because I really had no idea what I was talking about. And I feel like after watching this video, we're going to be like, what are you two talking about? Because we don't know either. All right, thank you. That's it for now. I'll be posting my giveaway video soon. Thank you so much for the over 100 subscribers. I've only had my channel for about 2 weeks now, so having over 100 subscribers is like pretty cool in my opinion. So you guys deserve this giveaway. I'll be posting that video later on in the week, okay? That is all for now. Bye. Bye.
내 음악의 baseline 내 몸짓의 baseline